Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our first installment of Cracking the Code together with You Africa. Today's speaker is a very special one, and Danica will be introducing her in a bit. Just some general housekeeping before we begin. On your right-hand side, you will find a chat function where you can drop some comments or some questions that you have throughout the webinar, or you can locate an Ask a Question tab, which is right at the bottom to your left-hand side. We will be using that for a live Q&A at the end of the webinar. But before I carry on talking, let's give it up for Danica.
So whoever said money can't buy happiness simply didn't know where to shop.
Mm-hmm.
So this quote perfectly encapsulates our guest for this evening. Tarynne Keown is the founder and creator of the Shopaholic, which is one of Cape Town's biggest womenswear stores. She started her business in 2013 in her childhood bedroom and has since been thriving in the last 9 years. Today we sit down with Tarynne and we're going to talk about her journey, how she started in her humble beginnings to being the absolute powerhouse that she is today. Welcome, Tarynne.
Thank you so much for having me. Hello, everyone.
So to get to know you a bit better, I'm going to ask you some rapid fire questions. So this is no thinking, just the first thing that pops into your head. Right. What is your favorite food?
Right now, it's the spicy nuggets from McDonald's.
Ooh,
it's like a new thing now, yeah.
Amazing.
What is the first thing you do when you wake up?
It's really bad, but I check my phone. I shouldn't, but I do.
It's very common.
Yes,
It's
I
very
check
common.
my phone.
Yeah.
So I.
Text or phone calls?
Text. Don't
Thank
call me
you.
unless it's planned. If you didn't
Never
plan,
call
don't
me.
phone me.
Never
Yes.
call me.
Two.
What word do you hate hearing?
I don't know. I don't really hate sounds, but I don't know. Yeah.
Moist.
No, nothing. I'm not very sensitive to hearing, but
Oh.
maybe to like if I see something I don't want to see. So yeah.
Okay. What is your favorite online store?
The
Besides your
Shopaholic.
own?
Okay.
You can't
Fine.
have favorite.
I really like Superbalist. Superbalist,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
What is your favorite piece of clothing?
I don't have a favorite piece of clothing because I can make anything for myself. So I would like to say my shoes are my favorite. Any
Okay.
pair of shoes because I can't make shoes. So yes.
Okay. What is your hidden talent?
My hidden talent is that I can cook a little bit. Ask Jessie. Yeah, a little. Yes.
Okay, we're getting deep here now. What was your last Google search?
My last
Ooh.
Google search was the cast of Love Island USA. I think it was season 2. Yes.
Wow.
I just
You
watched it now,
like-
so yes.
Okay, so it's quite fresh. It's quite
Yeah, so I
recent.
just like to
Okay.
see what they're doing now.
Mine is 90% crossword clues.
Mine.
Or
is-
how to
I don't
spell
know. I actually
words.
don't even know.
Or what words mean.
Yes.
Yes. So that you're not standing there like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What quote resonates with you?
The quote is by Precious Mackenzie. I heard it recently because it's very fresh in my mind. Is that do not speak up to be... Wait. What is it? I don't know. It was something about if you want to be appreciated, don't say anything. Something along those lines. Yeah, sorry. My brain is fried now.
Very
Yes.
cool. And then the last question, what is a lesson that took you a long time to learn?
A lesson that took myself a long time to learn is to trust that I've got everything under control and to trust that I know what to do and I don't need to ask everyone for an opinion on something that I know that the answer is within me. I just need to silence myself and find that answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That's actually a beautiful answer.
Thanks. I
Cool.
try.
So, I think we're gonna kick off with some session questions now, and I think we're gonna ask the most obvious question. And the first question was, how was Shopaholic born?
Okay. So the Shopaholic was started in a time where I was grade 11. So you can understand the circumstances around being 16 or 17 years old. All of my peers were being kids. I was also being a kid. And I grew up surrounded by business chat. Both of my parents are very business-minded. My mom grew up selling, she says she was selling jerseys or knits or something growing up. And my dad, he is an avid businessman. He is in the IT industry. So growing up, I saw my parents talk about business around the house. So that's where it latched onto me. And then I always had a passion for being in the creative industry. So what happened was, I was in grade 11 and I was scrolling online. Back then we didn't have online stores. I think Zando was one of the very few. And I found this Chinese online store, or this online store based out of China, and I asked my dad if he would buy me some clothes from this place, and he threw the idea at me, what if you ordered some clothes and you ordered a bit extra and you sold them in South Africa? So I was like, okay, cool, like I didn't think too much into it. So I ordered it. Bear in mind, I had already told everyone the clothes were coming. I had pre-sold the clothes. I had opened pre-orders, and I had no idea where these clothes were. I had no idea if they would come. I had no idea if they would fit. Eventually they arrive, and I was very disappointed in the fact that the quality didn't match up. The sizes were not very inclusive, and I had it was maybe 10 at the time, 10 girls, but like it was 10 people that I'd let down, and myself. So I decided to take matters into my own hands, and I said, I'm going to sew these clothes myself. I didn't know how to sew, so I was like, whoa, whatever. I'm going to sew these clothes myself, and I'm going to sell them. And then I remember my mom went to the fabric store with me, and they were very, very supportive, and they still are to this day. They were very supportive, and we went to the fabric store and bought some fabrics. I had no idea what I was doing. I wasted so many meters of fabric, so much money. But at the end of the day, what I learned, it got me here today, and I actually can't believe that I'm where I am today. Like speaking to you guys, yeah, it's definitely a blur. We were talking about it beforehand. It's like you are in survival mode, just creating and growing. When you take a step back to look back, you're like, did I do that? How did I do that? Like, it's actually insane to think about. So yeah, the Shopaholic was born in my room. I overtook my parents' entire house.
Amazing.
Had customers coming in and out, and yeah, the Shopaholic is a little 9-year-old right now. So I can't believe it.
That is insane.
Yes.
Really crazy. Could I ask you just to move slightly? Yes, just let you face more of the camera. Amazing.
What fueled your passion? Like, once you got started, what fueled this passion to carry on?
Okay. So I was always a very creative child. I took art lessons and I took photos with my friends after school. So obviously I'm transporting myself back to 2013. There was no like Instagram. There was no Facebook really. You would post things and your parents' friends would like the post and like comment, and it was so awkward. But it was fun. It was a more of a fun outlet instead of I'm creating because I have to create the creator culture that we have today. So I was just very creative, and I shared my creative side I shared my creative side for everyone to see. So I was comfortable with putting myself out there. And so what started it was the fact that as a grade 11 child, I needed a side business, or I wanted a side business. So I thought going into the fashion industry or selling clothes was something that really aligned with me. But then if I think about what fuels it now, it's not monetary, it's not sales, it's not products. It's the look on a woman's face when she tries on a dress that like fits her perfectly, and when she's like, I've been looking for this dress everywhere. That's what makes my heart melt. And you can't put a financial gain on that. You can only put I'm changing somebody's life. Imagine finding a pair of jeans that you've been looking for everywhere. You try it on and you're like, this is life changing. So
and
that's what fuels me.
Word for it.
Yeah.
It is life
True.
changing. It's like, I know when I would find a pair of jeans that fits properly, I'm like, what? You want to buy 3 or 4 pairs of them.
Exactly.
So it's life changing for someone.
Yes. So that's what I would say fuels my purpose. Yes. It fuels what I do.
And it's obviously been a long journey. I mean, you
Yes.
started 9 years ago and it's come to where it is. But through this journey, there's obviously been a lot of positives and a lot of negatives. So what was your biggest obstacle when setting up your business? And then how did you overcome it?
Okay. So I think 2 obstacles come to mind. Being a small business owner, you can imagine how many thousands of obstacles you face every day.
Tremendous amounts, yeah.
And what you do for a living is essentially problem solving. But two main things that stand out for me is I used to compare myself a lot to other people, especially being online. You see everyone's wins. I can open my phone right now and show you people who I think are winning at life, but they'll say otherwise. So comparison to other businesses or other people who have other businesses of their own. And then the other thing was just trusting that, like I said before, trusting that I knew what to do. It was always within me to solve the problem my way. And the beauty of being your own boss is that you create the rules.
Yeah.
A lot of the times you think that it has to be done a certain way, but it doesn't. It's done your way. And that's why you work for yourself and not for someone else.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's awesome.
Sure. Powerful answer.
Yeah.
Thank you.
When did you decide to take Shopaholic online? And how did that all happen? I know it's a massive movement at the moment, is people, taking their physical stores, moving them online, because that's where the world is going.
Yes.
When did this all happen for you?
So that's a very profound question, because I don't think we've ever been in a space where we weren't online. So even back in 2013, I had a Facebook page. I laugh thinking about it, but I had a Facebook page. I used to run these giveaways like on my own. Thinking of a grade 11 child, who does that? Like, it's crazy. So I had these giveaways and I would grow my Facebook page, and that's how I would get clientele. So my first clientele was my classmates. Then it extended into like friends of classmates from other schools. Then it was their moms, and then it was their family or their friends, and that's how it spread.
Wow.
So it spread like this. And I was like, what? That's the only word I could use to explain how I felt. Is that online is actually so... You underestimate how many people you can actually reach.
100%, yeah.
And you also underestimate the power of what it takes to put yourself out there and how vulnerable you make yourself to judgment or whatever. But I didn't think about that. So we've been online since the beginning of time. Just the way we use online has changed. We've evolved with the use of Instagram, and then going on to Shopify, and then using the two to funnel back to the online store, where we use Pay Fast as a checkout.
Amazing.
So, yes, since the beginning of time. So, yeah.
So
but our official
pioneers.
online store, yes, the pioneers. The official online store started at the end of 2017.
Okay.
Yes.
But you were well away online when COVID hit, so I'm
Yes,
sure that made
yes.
your business boom even more, because you were already
Yes.
there. Your setup was done, your clothing was there,
Yes.
your processes were in place. It just
Most
was a smooth
definitely.
sailing for you.
I wouldn't say that the COVID and lockdown was smooth sailing. I was definitely very stressed. I was stressed in terms of what is going to happen to our business, what is going to happen to what's happening in the world,
Well,
let alone
no
just
one.
your business.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like,
yeah.
imagine stressing about the problems in the world, and then your business is like, but what? How are we going to eat? How are we going to pay our rent? So, yeah, it was definitely a stressful time. But in terms of business, it was one of the best years.
Yeah.
It was one of
We've
the
actually had
best,
a lot of
worst
people
years.
report that,
Yes.
yeah.
I think we've mentioned it in every single one of our Cracking the Code webinars, where we sit down and we say, it continues to blow our minds as to how lucky we are. Because I think everybody was obviously worried going into the pandemic, and
It's so crazy
everybody
to
in
look back.
e-commerce had probably the best year of their
Yeah.
lives. Like,
It
in
was
terms of-
life-changing for many people, for
Yes.
many businesses, yes.
In some in good and
Yeah.
some in bad
Yes.
as well.
Exactly.
What is your top tip for young entrepreneurs wanting to sell online, and how can they effectively use social media platforms?
Okay. So, if we are looking at social media, I mentioned before that it's very easy to compare your life or your business to someone else's business progress. You can look at my social media and you can see my life. It could look like I'm having the time of my life. I'm never going to post my losses. I don't think anybody will. In social media it's a highlight reel of your life.
100%.
And business is just the same. So I would definitely just enforce that you shouldn't compare someone's chapter 99 to your chapter 9. And just remaining the perspective, keeping the perspective on what you want is what you want, and not because someone else is opening a store here or using this kind of packaging that it's what you want now all of a sudden. Just remaining true to yourself, and if someone else is succeeding, it doesn't mean that you are not. Yeah, so that's what I would say. And then also remaining consistent, making sure that what you are posting on social media, when the client gets the package or the product, it matches up. I've ordered or met with people even who I met online first, and then I met them in person, and I was like, this is not, it doesn't add up. So just having that authenticity and integrity as well. Yes, because social media, you can edit a lot. You can
100%.
You can perfect your product
filters
perfectly.
as well.
Yes,
and like
ridiculous.
you said, it's a highlight reel. You post of that really good dinner that you had, or the really great holiday that you took. You don't post about the days where you don't feel like getting out of bed because you've got a headache, or you don't post those days.
exactly.
So
That's so true.
Or your shipment that has come in and half of the stock is ruined.
Yes,
exactly.
And you sit there like
or the
sewing.
customer that yelled at you on the phone.
Oh,
or,
goodness.
That's true.
Yeah, so on that note, what is something that you wish you could tell yourself when you were younger? So what is something that you wish you knew then, what you know now?
So what I wish I knew then is that you don't need a team to be successful. I always thought I need an assistant, I need a photographer, I need someone packing the orders at home or at work, I need someone doing this and this and this to be successful. But if it's just you, what great thing is it to say,
That you did it.
I am successful because I did the hard work, I do the hard work. There's no shame in saying you don't have a team of staff or a huge production line. Just embracing where you are. Like, I lost touch with myself a lot when I thought I had to do something this way or that way, or because this business was doing it. Because, yeah, it's just not, it wasn't my path, and I needed to embrace what my path was. So yeah, that's what I would do.
Sure.
It's deep.
That is deep.
I always give
I
deep
felt
answers.
I felt that.
But I think it's important to answer those kinds of questions as deep as possible, because it gives a lot of people a lot of faith in themselves. Like if you started a business when you were in grade 11, and there's somebody, you know, sitting in a high school not far from here thinking, I really want to do this. You know, it's this kind of answer that gives you all of that courage to get started.
Yes, and also, even now, I'm 25, but I feel way older. I feel
It's because you
way
matured
older.
very quickly. And you were...
And yes, and my peers, they would maybe make remarks like, we can't all be as lucky as you, or imply that
And it's
imply that because we're the same age, we need to be at the same place in our lives.
Like
But
that.
people, they don't see that it wasn't an overnight success. So overnight success is 10 years in the making. It wasn't something that was like handed to me. I really worked hard for it, and I started a lot earlier, so you see the results a lot earlier in my life.
but you also gave up a lot.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely,
So
definitely.
You know, it probably has its pros and cons, and like may have something to do with, but it's a lot of hard work.
Definitely.
And it's a lot of, you know, nights that you gave up with your friends possibly. So
100%.
And family.
Yes,
as
family,
well. And
yeah.
And myself.
yeah.
Yes.
Taking care of yourself as well. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of pressure. But we
I
made
can
it.
imagine.
Well,
made it.
You're here today. 9 years
Thriving.
later.
We made it.
Exactly, thriving.
Awesome, thank you.
Cool. What tools and spaces provided you with knowledge or with skills to build your brand?
So, the best thing I think that happened to me was the fact that I had my parents who had their own business, so I could see how they navigated certain problems or certain conversations that they would have. I was very much, like you say, a child is always listening. I was always listening, like, what are they talking about? So I think I was in the best position to have parents who were business owners because I could navigate business through them or with them, or I could ask them questions. They were very easily accessible. And then I also think the time and place that I found myself, or the time and space that I found myself in, being able to access information like on YouTube or now TikTok, it's very easy to learn and upskill for free. So I think those are the things that really helped me take up space or learn things about myself. And one thing I recently learned is that business and success in business is very much, your life needs to be in the background. Your life needs to be balanced for your business to be going well or doing well.
100%.
So if at home is chaos, if the washing is piling up and my dogs are running crazy and they haven't bathed in a week, I'm not going to be performing well at work. But if I am performing well at work, it's going to motivate me to perform better at home, or I feel like my life is in order. So the two are kind of married. And I try to separate. I remember the exact words that I used, but I remember complaining about why are my customers commenting on my personal Instagram or messaging my personal Instagram for like updates on orders or whatever. But then, so I tried to separate myself from the shopaholic until I realized that I am the shopaholic.
Yes.
And the shopaholic is
the
me.
brand.
And once I realized that, it's like, contact me however you want to contact me. I'm here. I'm here to help you. And that's how I've created it. And I don't plan on separating the two.
And that's
we are
what
like
women relate to.
best friends.
They look at you and they go, but I want to dress like you. I want to look like you.
I want to be like you.
And
Wow.
yeah,
That's
so
a lot
it's
of
hard to
pressure.
separate. It's hard to separate the brand from the woman.
Yes, but I own it now. I wanted to separate it when I was younger, but I don't see myself doing anything else for the rest of my life.
It's beautiful.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
Thanks.
So, I know we briefly spoke about it earlier, you know, the shoes side of things, but what are your future plans for the Shopaholic brand?
So, I definitely think that I would like to get the Shopaholic into a more direct-to-customer space. Maybe in a pop-up store. I don't think I would want us to have an independent store, like a retail storefront. I think that a more pop-up store or more a way that the customers can feel and try and touch the garments, because that to me is a big seller, and the fact that they cannot do that right now could maybe be stopping somebody from like trying to buy or buying and seeing. So I think that's what we like to do. And then also definitely the shoe thing. You guys have really planted a seed in my brain. I love shoes
Coming
so
soon,
much.
Shopaholic shoes.
I love shoes so much. So maybe that will be the next thing, but you guys will have to wait and see.
Well,
And I'm
very
excited. Thank you.
Well, if the shoes that you're currently wearing are anything to
Yes.
go by what you
Beautiful.
like, then I'm very excited to see
I
what
love
kind
stuff
of
like
shoes
this.
you'll come up
Yes. Awesome.
Beautiful.
with. So excited.
Cool. Next question is, we're going to go to the audience and maybe check a little bit about what they want to know from you. And if you guys haven't posted a question yet, please feel free to post a question in the bottom left tab. You'll see there's an ask a question tab over there. Alternatively, you're more than welcome to select on the right hand side the chat function, and you can just drop some questions in there. So the first question here we have is, please advise what marketing strategies work best for you. What marketing channels did you use, and what worked best to grow your following?
Okay. So that's a loaded question. Can we maybe just take it in stages?
Let's do
Marketing.
that.
So one thing that really worked is email marketing and getting in front of your customer. With the changing algorithms of Instagram, or Facebook died.
Facebook died.
Facebook died a few years ago, but with Instagram I don't know if it's on its way out or if it's just slowing down. With the algorithm, it's changing very much. But it's changing in a more negative sense for businesses and creators. The email marketing really helped. So funneling the Instagram or the Facebook leads to email marketing and then getting in front of the customer. And then one thing that is really underrated is word of mouth.
massively underrated.
Most definitely. I will buy something. I will buy this water because you told me it's really good, and because you maybe chatted to the owner or worked with someone, whatever. But because you told me it's good, automatically I'm more drawn to the fact that you told me it's good.
100%.
So people really underestimate word of mouth. I used to think that packaging has its place in its space, but I used to think that was one of the, I thought that I had to have that all sorted out, and then that would be a form of marketing, but it's not as important as the quality and the quality of the service you provide, and the quality of the product that you provide as well. Yeah. So if people like it, they'll tell their friends, and their friends, friends.
Yeah,
it is a very underrated form of marketing, is word of mouth.
Yeah, it's so crazy, because if I think about some of the products that I buy from people, not from companies, and not Take-A-Lots and things, like from people.
Yes.
And as soon as I like that product, my immediate go-to is to go tell my mom, tell my sister, tell my friend, tell my colleagues, and from there they want to order, then they order, and then it just like streams down, and they go tell their family, and then it just builds and builds and builds. It's like a snowball.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think people definitely underestimated.
And the only way
powerful
to do that actually is to have a really, really good product with a really good service.
And good customer experience.
Yes, so even when things go wrong, and I'm not saying that things don't go wrong at all, but when things go wrong, or if somebody is unhappy, like I go out of my way to make things right, or I will go and drop off the exchange at their house. Sometimes there's a lot of customers who have seen me at their homes. So yes, just being willing to fix the problem and get in front of the problem instead of hiding and deactivating all your social media accounts or turning off the comments. Yeah. That's not good. That's bad marketing. And then what is the second part?
So it says, what marketing strategies worked for you, and what marketing channels worked for you?
Okay. What marketing channels and strategies?
Yeah.
Oh.
That work best to grow your following.
Oh. So we definitely got onto Instagram when Instagram was still the greatest and the best and greatest algorithm. So growing was fairly easy. I'm not going to say it was easy, like you post one thing and you get 10,000 followers, but yes, it was way more organic. It was easier to gain organic reach. And then also I play a part in the social media influencing world.
Yes.
So I definitely think that me and the Shopaholic were like playing tag team. So I would always boost the Shopaholic on my personal account, and then sometimes I would boost myself on the Shopaholic, but very rarely. So I would always funnel my followers to the Shopaholic who would support.
Okay.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's do another one. This is a very interesting question. What can be done to convince followers to buy online?
I followed this girl on TikTok, and she is explaining how the markets are changing to where you can't just be like, I sell this water, buy this water, it's 10 Rand. You have to say, what are the benefits? How does it benefit me? And then I started to take a step back.
Selling point.
And I looked at myself and I was like, how do I purchase, let's say from Superbalist or these shoes? How do I purchase? I purchase in how is the purchase of these shoes going to benefit me? Are people's heads going to be like, whoa, what is she wearing? That's what I'm looking for. So I started to apply that in the Shopaholic. So the benefits are the quality, the longevity, the customer service. So yeah, just maybe explaining more of the benefits instead of buy now, shop now, sell now, not being so aggressive. It's more of a dance you have to do with your customer. You have to like date them and get to know them, and then be
build
like,
an emotional
do you want to buy?
connection with
so
them.
Yes, it's not just a quick thing.
Yes.
It's definitely more of a longer process now.
Okay.
Journey. Cool. Another question is, you mentioned you do everything. Does this mean that you do not have any staff that frees you time to do more entrepreneurial thinking and planning?
That's a good question.
Very good question.
That's a very good question.
Very interesting.
So, I like to rather outsource things that I can't do or don't have the time to do. I view it as like buying my time back. So, yes. And also, I don't like to waste my funds where if I'm paying someone else to do it, but they're not doing it perfectly for the customer, not perfectly like crazy, this has to be perfect, but like if they're not doing it to the point, the standard that I would do it, then I may as well do it.
Yeah.
Also, there's no shame in being able to not do everything, but like being able to do the work and still make time to do the other tasks. Yeah, I'm very multifaceted, and I can do a million things at once, and I pride myself in that.
That's a skill.
That's,
Yes.
That's a serious skill.
Yes, but yeah, so whatever works for you.
It's knowing when to outsource something.
Yes.
And knowing when, like, you actually want to do it
yourself.
yourself.
Yes, yes.
And can do it yourself.
Yes, yes. And if you can perfect your skill to a point where you can do something really, really fast and someone else cannot, or whatever, then why not do it yourself?
Just on that, before I move to another question, is do you ever plan to grow your
Yes, most
staff?
definitely, yes.
Okay.
And I have ventured into that sphere, and I just think that I do not want to have any permanent staff at the moment where I'm at. Sitting here today, I'm good with trusting other people in their own businesses and their own right to do what I need them to do.
Perfect. Amazing. Next question is, hey Tarynne, do you do full production and hold stock, or do you make to order? If you do production, how do you calculate what sizes to make and how many of each? How do you avoid that leftover stock, which is not sustainable?
Yes.
We do online only and make every item to order in our studio, but I would like to expand, but I have no idea how to do this without having a large staff complement. Thanks in advance.
Whoa, okay, you need to break that up again.
We'll start from the beginning. So then let's start with the first question, and the first question is, do you do full production and hold stock, or do you make to order?
Okay, so for very big sales, so let's say Black Friday, I can already forecast what is selling or what's been selling.
What's trending at that moment.
Yes, and for that we will produce like create a buffer zone so that when Black Friday starts, we aren't running around like headless chickens making this and this and this. Everything is kind of semi-chaos before the calm before the storm. But right now, I was actually telling somebody this afternoon, is that we will maybe make like 2 things ahead or like 1 or 3 units ahead, but we won't be like, I need 100 of this, 100 of this, 100 of this. Also, that cuts into your costs. You want to keep your overheads as low as possible as a small business. Yeah, that's just what I believe. Other people believe different things. So what we did, or what I told this girl this afternoon, is that we have upskilled so much that you would think that we have it in stock. We just make it so fast.
Amazing.
You wouldn't know. You can order now. What's the time?
Practice
like
makes
6,
perfect.
and then by 7 you can have your garment if we have the capacity to quickly make it. So rather invest in upskilling, but obviously if you cannot sew or if you cannot do production, you would have to stock beforehand. And the first stock production will be a trial to see like which sizes are selling and which aren't. But with us, we do everything, maybe 2 units, 1 unit, or even make per order. We just do it really fast.
Okay.
So fast. It's crazy.
Gotta live a good upskill.
Yes.
Oh.
I love it. I love working under pressure. It's actually quite sick. But yes.
So the second part of this question is, how do you calculate what sizes to make?
Yes.
And how many of each? How do you avoid leftover stock, which is not sustainable? But I think you've answered that in your explanation. So she's saying we do online only and make every item to order in our studio, but I would like to expand, but I have no idea how to go about this without having a large staff complement. What is your tips there for her to expand,
She would
but
need
not
more
to have
staff.
too much staff? She
in
wants to
production
avoid-
Upskill staff.
No, I think it's I think that would be the
Yeah,
answer.
maybe.
Yeah, is to upskill her current
Oh.
staff to be able to do the quantities that you are actually looking to do at the moment,
Yes.
Without investing in a massive staff.
or extra staff.
Yeah.
Yeah. How I understand that is she wants to expand
Mm-hmm.
with the current team that she has.
Yes.
She doesn't want to add any more people.
No.
I don't know. Let me think about it. I will. The answer always comes to me like in a couple of
We'll
minutes.
circle.
Yeah, let it marinate in my brain.
Amazing. Marinates with you. I've never heard that before. Oh, amazing. Okay, cool. Next question is, hey, what are your top factors that one should figure out before they launch their clothing brand?
Top factors is to have top factors. Okay, this is back end and front end. It's not just about the product, right? Have a career company that you can rely on. Form a relationship with your courier for the sales. That's one thing I did not do. When the first sale came in, I was like, how do I get it to them? Do I drop it off? So that is one of the main things, is career. Obviously your back end, your payment gateways, and then on social media now we're in the front end. Sharing your product with maybe your friends, or if you can afford creators who can create content to bring awareness to your product, that really is quite underrated. A lot of the times I thought that when I launch, I just need to post, this is launching on Tuesday, be ready. Then Tuesday comes and I'm waiting at my computer for sales and there's no sales. So just having a good marketing strategy, and it doesn't have to be elaborate. It can just be as simple as like posting awareness or sending out a mailer or growing your email list.
Like, hey, I'm still here.
Yes, because quite honestly, nobody on social media, I'm not thinking about anyone in particular in social media unless they remind me that they are there. And the same is with brands and businesses. So yes, making sure that the front end and the back end are working completely and that you are ready for what's to come. Once it launches and it's successful, which it will be.
Amazing. Next question is, what do you do to engage with your customers and building trust with your customers?
Okay. So I think that if I answer that question, I'm answering it based off someone who's been in the space for 9 years. And I'm answering it based off the reputation that I already have. But if I was starting from scratch, just putting yourself out there as the face of your business and reminding people that this is a human being running this business and this is me and this is what I like, and just being easily accessible, not having too many automations. So there's nothing worse than phoning a company and it's a robot that I'm speaking to. Or I'm typing in a chat box and I'm getting I get the automated response thing, but like for how long should I be speaking to
About
AI before I'm speaking to a human being? So just putting yourself out there that you are human and this is what you like, this is what you don't like, this is why you are selling what you are selling, this is why you are offering the service that you are offering. And yes, just putting a face and a human being to your business.
Amazing. I must say I do agree with that. I've returned more to stores where I've spoken to the actual person and had a conversation about the product, than I have to stores that I've just clicked buy and it just got delivered.
Yes.
Because you build a relationship.
And also, what is something that I've also started doing, or I've been doing for a while, is asking the customer what they like. So I was at a wedding with my husband a few weeks back, and one of my customers came up to me and I asked her, so what do you like about this and this and this, and would you change this? Customers like it when you are ready to receive their input, and just being open to input. Not all criticism is bad. So yeah, just having that mindset.
Yeah, and putting your name out there and your face out there means that you can be held accountable, and people like knowing that somebody will be held accountable if there's something wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it really does build that trust, knowing that there's a face and a person behind the brand.
Agreed.
And also like sticking to your word. Don't say that you're gonna help me or whatever, solve the problem, but you don't. So yes.
Okay. Next question is, what is the biggest mistake you made when you were still starting? And if you were to change how you run your business now, what would that be? So I think let's start with the biggest mistake.
The biggest mistake I made was I would say the simple answer is restocking too much. So like really drying out that product, like how many more can I sell, instead of just moving on to something that's
product.
better. So just because something sold really, really well, now introducing more of the same thing, that I think was the biggest mistake, because that actually costs you in the end of the day. And then what was the second part?
Second part is, and if you were to change how you run your business now, what would that be?
Okay, so if I can build on the previous answer, is that just finding what works for you and what aligns with you. So if that, let's say, if that product was doing well, just understanding that this could be like just for a season and then you move on, not building my entire business around that one product. You need to diversify or have different variants, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
but
no,
that was
100%.
solely in terms of product. I can't think of anything.
There's products
now.
go through like stages. Like it trends now.
Yes.
5 years it's not going to trend. 10 years from now it's going to jump back on the trend. I mean, the clothing now is like very retro. And yeah, so I agree with you. I think focusing on one product is a big mistake. But diversifying your product range is the way to go.
Yes, yes.
Cool. Next one is tips on e-commerce scaling.
Scaling.
I think that's a very broad question, so I think let's skip that one. We'll wait for some more information on that. What is your thinking about your working for your business or your business working for you? Does not owning business means that it allows you to spend your time the way you wish instead of only in the business?
Yes, I do think so. But I do think there's an element of entrepreneurship where you don't really get to switch off. And I don't mean that in like you have to be working all the time, but from my perspective, from my point of view, as an entrepreneur, I'm always thinking of...
Bless you.
Thank you.
As an entrepreneur, I'm always thinking of, oh my word, like you guys brought up the shoes. I'm thinking now, what are the shoes I could create? That's how my mind is going. So it's not switching off. Product. It's not switching off in a bad, not switching off in a bad way, but different strokes for different folks. If you want to have a business that runs itself, by all means. But if you want to be in the trenches, making the pizzas in the back, that's also cool. It's whatever works for you. And it's just owning that it works for me and what works for you will be different.
Okay.
But yeah, eventually I would like to maybe let go. But like, I love being so involved at the moment, so I'm enjoying that.
But it's your passion, you can see it's your passion.
And
so
I love it so much.
Baby.
Yeah.
It's my 9-year-old, my little grade 3 child. Yes.
Too soon. I just want to tell the audience, please, if you have any questions, please drop it in the left-hand tab, ask a question, or you're more than welcome to pop it into our comment section, just so we can make sure we can get to as many people as possible today. The next question is, which courier do you use to deliver internationally?
Which courier? I don't really deliver internationally often, but I don't have an answer to that. So at my nearest postnet, there will be the DHL flyer is there. So that's all I can say. I don't have like a designated courier.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Next question is, how did you manage to funnel the customers from Instagram to email? And how does one go about asking your followers' email address in order to get them to the website?
Ooh, it's a good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me just give that a 5-second think. So I think I'm trying to remember what I did, but I would say a definite call to action and maybe offering them a percentage, like a discount spend, if they sign up, you get 5% or you get 10% off, whatever you can afford. Yeah, and just ask. Like, you don't need to be afraid.
I think that's actually usually what gets me to
We're
sign up.
very scared to ask people to like my post, like this, comment, let me know what you think. Like, there's no shame in saying, please sign up for my
But if
emails.
you can afford a discount, I know that for me, it's very often even if it's just if I say just a 5%, it
5%.
makes
To us,
makes a massive difference.
from a business owner's
5%, yeah.
perspective, you hear it like, oh, it's just 5%. But to a customer's like, oh, 5%.
5%.
So yes, your perspective is very different.
Encouragement
Mm.
to purchase. It's bad. You stay away.
It's your weakness.
It's bad.
It's a weakness.
Because you automatically feel like I'm going to lose out if I don't buy it. So I have to buy it
Yes.
now.
And you're already trying to talk yourself out of spending more money, and then
then
this
you
pop-up
just-
comes and it says, get an additional 5% off, and you're going, I have to. It's
All I have to
basically
do
free.
is just give my email address and I get 5%. I wasn't planning on buying anything, but
Yeah.
now I'm getting 5% off.
It's
so
basically
just have to
free.
buy.
So it works. There you guys
Basically
see it
95%.
works. The
Whatever.
percentage off works.
Amazing.
Yes.
Okay, and which email marketing platform do you use?
Okay, so I can't remember the place's name, so I'm not gonna even mention what I tried. But at the moment I use OmniSend.
Oh, I've heard
Omnisend.
amazing things.
OmniSend. Your currency is in rands, so you can see your analytics. It's easy to set up, it's easy to schedule, it's easy to build your emails. It's
You had
beautiful.
me at easy.
Yeah.
It's so easy. It's awesome. And
I've
it's
heard
affordable.
amazing
It's very
things.
affordable.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm just waiting for OmniSend to bring out SMS marketing in South Africa, and then I'm on it.
Done deal. It's ready to
It's
go.
really great.
And it's very, very streamlined compared to some of the email software that I've tried. I've tested a lot of them. Some of them tend to be quite clunky, or they feel super clunky.
Well, it starts off
And
easy and then it just gives
Yeah.
errors and bugs.
OmniSend is great.
Amazing.
I love OmniSend.
Next question is, where do we learn how to follow... No, sorry, I just asked that. Oh no, I think it's a continuation of that one, because it's the same, similar question, same thing. How did PayFast assist in the success of your business or using PayFast for payment help?
So I used PayFast from 2017. I cannot remember where I heard of PayFast. I think a lot of the businesses I was buying from was using PayFast at the time, so I
And
started
it was
using PayFast.
one of the only payment gateways at the time.
I think so,
Yeah.
yes. It was very easy to set up, and it is very easy for my customers to check out as well. It's not complicated. I don't think... I can't remember, but I don't think they have to log into their banking or anything, like give passwords and stuff. It's very user-friendly, and it's very... am I a merchant to PayFast? Yes. It's very easy as a merchant to use PayFast as well. So yeah, just the
Amazing.
ease of use was very attractive.
Great. And next question is, how would you get more followers on Instagram pages, but real followers?
Yes.
What is also the best way to choose hashtag? Oh, let's start from the
Okay,
beginning.
okay.
Let's start at the beginning of this
That's a
question.
mouthful.
How would you get more followers on Instagram pages, but real followers?
If I gave the recipe, I can't even remember what I did. I just posted all the time, and I posted everything. I shared everything. I don't know why I don't do it as much. Maybe you get so caught up in the lighting needs to be perfect. I need to be having a good day. I need to have my hair freshly blown out to take content. But customers actually want to see what's going on. I remember when I was studying for matric finals. I was very open with my customers, and I would post on the Instagram guys, I'm writing finals right now. I'm going through this, or it's my matric dance. I can't deliver this order. So just letting
honest.
customers see that there's a personality, whether it's your personality or the brand's personality, that there's just a personality behind the page, and that you are consistent. Everyone says consistent, but it really, really works. There are ways where you can get in front of an audience that you have to pay for, like maybe ads, but the free thing is just to share. But I think what is working now for other businesses is getting onto TikTok and then funneling TikTok onto Instagram.
I actually have a question on this. I know with a lot of giveaways, there are always, a couple of brands that collaborate together, and then it's always this, you have to like this post and you have to follow all of the collaborators.
people?
Yes.
Yeah. And then comment friends.
I don't know if you've
Tag
tried
friends.
that.
Yes, we have.
And has that boosted your following?
So we have done a lot of those kind of giveaways where it's like follow these people and then follow us and then you are entered and you can win a prize.
Post, yeah.
But what I have found is that your followers, they grow exponentially and then they drop because the people followed you for the giveaway, and then when they see you come up on their feed again, they're like, who is this?
I don't want this.
So they unfollow you. So I do think that those do work to like
For the
boost traction,
awareness, yeah.
yes. But in order to make somebody stay, it's very different. Yeah. Because those things really work,
product.
yes.
Yeah, the amount of times that I've entered a competition, I've stopped now because I never win. It's shocking.
No,
but
you will never win.
You just follow, and the next thing you know, you've followed like these 20 new accounts that's popping up on your feed, and you're going, yeah.
Yes,
What
you
is
have to
going on,
figure out what makes them want to stay.
I think that if they continue following, they will obviously like your product. So if they follow you and they don't like your product, they're going to unfollow you no matter what you do.
Yes,
Doesn't matter how you sell to them or what picture you draw for them or how you contact them. If they don't like your product, they're not going to stay.
Yeah.
So you got to target the people who like your product.
Yes, and also a lot of followers doesn't necessarily mean that your business is killing it.
Exactly.
You think you see 100,000 followers and that this person is making millions.
No.
Or that's not how it works. So I would rather have fewer followers but my business is actually making sales and performing than have it the other way around.
Yeah.
So
Followers
yeah,
are just
but
followers.
one thing that I have found with Instagram maybe is that the following does boost credibility. So it's like a two-way, double-edged sword.
Yeah.
You just need to pick what's important to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Second part of the question is, what is also the best way to choose to choose hashtags and getting the following you want with buying power?
Whoa. I don't know anything about hashtags. If I'm being honest, I don't.
Hashtags is like garlic. You have to feel it with your heart.
Yes. And there are many methods that you can use hashtags. But I don't think I'm qualified to give that kind of advice because I know nothing about hashtags. I'll be like, hashtag cat.
I
Hashtag
actually
lol.
might be able to answer this.
Yes.
Because I actually asked the same question a couple of months ago. And when you figuring out your hashtags, go into Instagram and put in the hashtag and see
what
how
comes
many people follow that hashtag. And there's a specific number, so if it's over 10,000, I have no idea what the number is now. It's a really good hashtag to use. Anything below X amount is you can use it, but it's not really going to get you any traction. So you can try and establish a hashtag, but use it in conjunction with a hashtag that's, got a lot of followers.
Following, yeah.
How many followers would you say is too much for a hashtag to have? Won't it be like sucked into the...
Cannot remember.
Yeah, I think that is
Sucked into
very
the-
important.
Yeah.
Because
the
just
saturation of the hashtag?
And I think it's also probably a combination of hashtags that work really well for you. So by throwing in your own specific hashtag, you're obviously building it, because every time you post and you use that hashtag, the more it gets used as well.
Yes.
So
yeah.
I think it's a combination. It might be a hit and miss thing.
But I also think that the answer to that is not necessarily just something that you can follow. You constantly have to update that answer. You have to go do more research,
Definitely.
because the stuff that is trending today is not going to be the stuff that's trending tomorrow. And just because I used the hashtag today and I got 10,000 likes doesn't mean next week when I use it I'm going to get the same result.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think just got to keep up to date.
And Twitter is actually quite good for that, believe it or not.
Yes.
To check
Hashtags
hashtags.
everywhere.
Awesome.
Cool.
You guys are teaching me something new today.
Yes. Now we're winning.
Yes.
Now we're winning. You're teaching us, we're teaching you, we're winning. Cool. The next one is WhatsApp a communication channel you use? How do you manage multiple emails, Facebook messages, WhatsApps, Instagram questions, and run a business with full orders?
And I have 3 dogs.
Whew.
And I have a household to run.
Wow.
And I need to wash my hair tonight. Okay, so yes, I use WhatsApp. I love WhatsApp. I used to feel very anxious getting like WhatsApps from customers, but now I'm like, WhatsApp me. I'm ready. Send me all the WhatsApp. Send me all the questions. So I would say WhatsApp is my like number 1 platform. WhatsApp me, please. WhatsApp me. Email comes then second. DMs, it's very, very easy to lose track of DMs just because they get shuffled and all that stuff. So I try to attend to DMs, not last, but it does take second priority, yes. But definitely emails. The Facebook Messenger sends you an automated response to email us. So that makes my life easier there already. So emails,
And Facebook
WhatsApp.
Messenger is also not the most user-friendly.
No, you have to like download another app on your phone to
It's
chat
actually
on
just
messages.
ridiculous. It's so dumb. Like, it's supposed to be integrated into one application.
you
Now,
would think.
now you're downloading different education things and to like figure out how to use the one and not the other. And no, it's
Yes.
terrible. Terrible.
But I do think that everything has become so second nature to me that I don't view it as like how that question made it like this and this and this and this. It's all just like,
It's all integrated.
I need to do
It's
it.
just-
Yes.
It's
Simple.
Q&A, you know?
And that's one thing about entrepreneurship that is like, you just need to do what you need to do. And you need to move forward, move the needle. My dad likes to say, you need to do tasks that move the needle. So you need to do what you need to do. And it might be a lot at first or for a short while, but then you can maybe outsource it or get a virtual assistant or an in-person assistant. So there are ways around it. But I think what COVID really taught me, because I really used to, like I said, I was annoyed and anxious when I got messages. So what COVID really instilled in me is more gratitude. So people are asking because they want to buy, because they want to support me and my business, and which is going to allow me to support my family. So I'm more like, how can I help you? Because when I help you, it's
You're
helping
gonna
me.
help me, yeah.
Yes.
That's an amazing approach to take to
Yes.
something. I mean, I know, like on your birthday, you get so many messages, WhatsApps, and you're actually almost terrified to open them because you know that you need to reply.
I
Hate
know.
it.
You
And
just
then
send one broadcast. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, but then it seems like this massive mountain to climb, when it's actually, like you said, you just need to move the needle. Like, sit down
And just do it.
for half an hour, not even 20 minutes, get a cup of coffee, and start replying. Because when
Exactly.
you look up again, you've actually done.
A
You've
lot.
like finished all of your messages on WhatsApp, and you get to move on to the next kind of
Yes.
platform. So
Also, sorry to interrupt you, but
No.
where you can get ahead is you can have like a FAQ, because most of the time, most of the questions are the same. So just like explaining what you anticipate will be asked.
Like, how do we order? How do you deliver?
Yes, yes, most definitely.
General questions. Okay, cool. And then just the last part of that question, if you want to add into it, is how do you manage ensuring every customer interaction is dealt with across all your platforms?
So what does that mean? Like how I've responded to everybody?
Yeah, like how do you ensure that each customer, doesn't matter if it's on Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, how do you make sure that you answer each one?
I don't know how I make sure, I just do it. I don't know how to, I just do it. Like, it needs to be done, it has to be done.
So do you?
And if
do
not
you
now, then
open
when?
And reply immediately.
I used to, that was a very bad habit, because if it was like 2 a.m, I'm like, hi, yeah. But I have definitely set more firm boundaries with myself. So when I'm at home, I'm at home. When I'm with my family, I'm with my family. I try not to check my phone, because there have most definitely been instances where, say now I've received a customer complaint and I'm at the dinner table and I just read that, and now
your mood
my
is
mood is,
shifted.
I'm done. Or if I'm out with my friends, seeing something that I didn't want to see or whatever, and I know it's not a personal attack on myself, but I definitely take it personally.
100% your brand.
So just setting those boundaries and just doing what you need to do, with no ifs, buts, or wins. Just running and doing it.
Yeah.
Counting down from 5. I think there's a method like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Next question is, when I started my website for an online store, the creator started with customer having to subscribe to a newsletter. I had him taking it off. I was scared it would put people off. Any advice on this?
I think signing up for a newsletter is brilliant.
Great, yeah.
I think that's one of the best ways to grow your email marketing as well.
Okay.
Because then once you launch, you are in front of these people. So yeah.
Top
I would
trick
do
and
it, yes.
tip is
Don't
do
be
the email
shy. Just
newsletter.
be ready to put yourself out there. Because that is also the world of business. You're going to get people who don't
100%.
like it. You're going to get people who are going to give you shit. And you just need to keep doing it. If it's what you love, then that's what I'll do. If it's what I love, so it's what I'm going to do. Yes. And I would rather be doing this than anything else. I don't have a plan B. This has to work out.
It will work out.
Thank you.
It is working
Yes.
It's working out.
Yes,
Just
this
9
has
years
to work
proof.
out. Yes.
Next question is, what are common misconceptions of having an online presence while running a successful business?
What are some misconceptions?
Of having an online presence while running a successful business?
Okay. I think that so how I view myself is I got an online presence from my business, and my business got an online presence from me. So I didn't start off as an influencer and then I started a brand.
Yeah.
I was a nobody, or not a nobody, that's really rude, but I was nobody online, and then went into the online space and I grew alongside my business. So I would like to say that I am known for my business. Or that's the girl from the Shopaholic. So yes, I don't think that I have encountered any misconceptions. If that makes any sense.
No, it does.
Yeah.
Cool. And then the next question is, sure, it's a little bit of a long one, so we're gonna break.
I'm ready. I'm listening.
So, what platforms do you use to advertise besides Facebook and Instagram? And the explanation to this is, I feel there's a lot of new sites for social, like TikTok and Jaeger, but I feel joining many places may be very overwhelming, and you may not be able to post as much and keep everyone entertained enough.
Yes. So I also watched a TikTok the other day that said that you also need to know as a business owner what your capacity is.
Yep.
I can only speak from my perspective. I cannot advertise to 10 million people and then get 1 million sales, or what's one, yeah, anyways, let's not go into that. So I'm like, whoa. Okay, so I cannot get an influx of sales that I can't handle, because then my customer service and my quality is going to go down. So you need to decide which platform you want to own and give your all into, despite what everybody else is doing. And then once you are able to accept more responsibility and give more of yourself, then do that. But don't spread yourself thin in the name of keeping up with the different apps, because there are so many apps and so many platforms, and yeah, it's just impossible to keep your finger on everything unless you have a large team and can deal with the admin. Yes.
100%, yeah.
Yes. So you don't have to be everywhere. You just need to be where your customer is. So you need to find out where they are, go to them, chill with them,
And put your all in it.
Yes. Yes.
That was a good
That's
answer.
it.
I
Thank
like
you.
that answer. Next question is, how do you deal with social bots that post lots of fake data and statistics? I find these are happening, affect judgment to sell fresh stock, and seeing who is interested in what product is getting the most attention and what the real people are interested in.
Wait. Whoa.
Let's start again. How do you deal with social bots that post lots of fake data and statistics?
Like those fake comments with the forexes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Are we talking about that?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I find these are happening a lot, and they affect the judgment to sell fresh stock. Seeing who is interested in which product and what is getting the most attention that
Okay.
real people are interested
That is a
Okay.
long question.
It's a very long question. It's very confusing as well.
Yes.
Not that the question is
I
confusing,
take
just the layout.
I
Yes.
take it as it's comments. How do you distinguish, or how do you keep your page clean from
The bots.
fake bots in between
Can
the
you?
comments? I don't think you can.
Do they have a? I'm not sure. It also depends on which platform you're referring to for the majority of this. But maybe there's a setting.
Maybe there is a setting, eh?
No.
Like a
In the back end of
backend.
Instagram, not the back end, like in your settings, you can. I think you can put keywords that if a comment has these keywords, like to block it. But on the plus side, it's engagement.
It is.
So the more comments, I'm not gonna complain.
And it helps the algorithm as well. So
Yes.
do you
But
really want to
also-
take it off?
Yeah, maybe just
Yeah, use
Yeah.
that if you can. But I
Leverage
don't
it.
think there's a way to. So if it's spam,
yes.
like I think you can say
Yes.
if it's got like forex in it or whatever.
Yes.
Then don't
Yeah.
allow it. But yeah.
I think it's a difficult one. You got to figure out whether it's bothering you that much that you're gonna go
Yeah.
and look for research on how to possibly switch it off. But if it's not bothering you that much and you can actually see how you could leverage something like that to build your business, then you would
Yeah.
rather go that route.
Yes.
And like you guys said, it's engagement.
It's engagement.
Algorithm is happy.
And algorithm happy means more people to your page, and more
Yes.
people to your page means more potential buyers, and more potential
Yes.
buyers means
So it might just
Good.
be a case of learning to live with it.
yeah, I think so.
Maybe.
I think that's probably
Shame.
one of the safest options here.
Yes, yes.
Next question is, do you do your own marketing on Instagram, and who would you recommend for a good website?
I have a funny story.
Oh, yay.
So my dad is in IT, and this is like a side story to my side story. So my dad is in IT, and he was always like coding and all that stuff. So when it came time to build my website, so my dad is finally in apps now. He builds mobile apps. So a skill that I learned is like HTML. I smile.
Nice.
I smile when I say this because it's like so unexpected. So I
think
can
that's
change.
your hidden talent.
That's
Yeah,
my
HTML.
not cooking, it's that. So when my site launched for the first time, I was the one that was building it, and I was adding the apps and the plugins, and I was like, so this is what a hyperlink is. Like, I really educated myself in understanding how my site worked. And I think that also not having the funds to pay somebody else makes you learn crazy things. And also, I like to do things myself. So when I learned how to do it, I was like, yes. I learned something. And yeah, so
You've got that skill for life as well.
yes. So I built my own site, and then obviously I just evolved it. It's also not as difficult as what you would like to believe that it is. Yes, obviously just getting input here and there. There were times when my father did give me some input on like the code that you had to type in to move something like lower. So yeah. What was the question? A web developer.
Who can you recommend for
For a good website.
good website?
I don't have any recommend. Oh, I actually do. If this person can contact me, I
WhatsApp
can give
her.
them, because it's on my phone. WhatsApp me.
WhatsApp her.
You can
Okay,
also
cool.
WhatsApp or contact us, because we also have quite a few developers that we know that are very good.
Yes.
So reach out to
Anyone.
any one of us.
You've got so much
Yes.
So much
choice.
knowledge.
So much choice.
Yes.
Cool. And the next one is, were there any good business startup books you read that you found valuable?
I haven't read anything profound. I don't consume. I don't have a lot of time to read, so I will listen. Podcasts, most definitely. I just cannot think off the top of my head their names right now, but a podcast I am really invested in is On Purpose by Jay Shetty.
Love that one.
Yes,
Yeah.
so it's more of like an emotional business chat. I really love things like that. I love understanding how or why someone did what they did and what life circumstance that they were in. I really resonate with that. But in terms of like running a business, I mostly like bounced ideas off of my parents, and they would give me not only advice that they would give as I was their daughter or am their daughter, but also advice that they wish they would have implemented maybe in their own business. So it was first-hand advice. And one thing that I can add to giving advice is that you need to ask advice from people who are in similar positions to you, or in similar decision, like they would be faced with this decision sometime. Entrepreneurs should ask advice from other entrepreneurs and not from people who are not.
Yes.
Because ultimately you're living with your own the consequences of a decision that I made for you, or I planted that thought into your head. You just need to ask advice from the right people and read books or listen to podcasts from the right person or people.
Actually gives me a great idea for a blog that we could potentially do together, is taking, like Andy, asking him for his top 10 books. He's brought, I think, every single one of his business, any one of those kinds of books, like any self-help books and whatever, he's brought so many of them into the office, and he's told us, take them home, read them. And it would be actually so cool to put a list together of the books that, business leaders and podcasts that people in the industry listen to, and that kind of help you go forward. So we should probably
be interesting
talk about that.
to see if there's any overlapping within the industry.
Well, I mean, even the Jay Shetty podcast, I actually started listening to it last week.
I love him.
It's brilliant.
Incredible.
So there's already a bit of an overlap. So it'd be cool to see, in terms of books and podcasts.
Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 more questions, and we're going to start wrapping up. First question is, do you allow customers to visit your premises, those that want to fit and touch and feel your products, since you don't have a walk-in store? And if you don't, how do you manage returns? Do you pay for the shipping of collecting the garments? If the customer is not happy, please explain your returns process.
Okay, so yes, customers are more than welcome to come to the office and touch and feel and try. I had someone there this afternoon, and so you can just like WhatsApp me, mail me, mail us,
WhatsApp,
anything, and then just arrange like when you want to come through, and you're welcome to like feel and try and see the colors in person, because social media is great, but social media with colors especially is very much like, how white is your white, how nude is your nude, the difference between oatmeal and cocoa, like what's the difference? So people like to see that and feel it, and then the response is usually like, I had no idea that it felt like this, I'm so glad I came. So yes, and then the second part was returns policy. Okay, so I haven't had much time or much thought put into a two-way courier service. So at the moment our courier delivers, but they cannot fetch if you are unhappy with the product or didn't meet your expectations. So what I do ask is that the customer just sends it back to us however way it suits them, and then that's it.
Okay.
There's nothing more complicated or less complicated than that.
Straight
but I am working
to the
on
point.
getting I'm working on it.
Yeah, I will actually add to that. If you do have questions on return policies, please send me an email on marketing@uafrica.com. I will definitely be able to help you, because we did a whole massive thing on returns policies when COVID hit, actually, because all of a sudden you couldn't go and try on clothes in store or anything, and it was a matter of advising people change your return policies. So if anybody has questions, please let me know.
But yes, I am very put off by no returns and no refunds. There has to be an option to refund or return.
Yes. But it's great
but I
that
don't
you
like
have
it
that
when
policy.
businesses don't. When businesses don't have that, I don't like it.
It
Again,
also
builds
distrust.
trust.
You distrust, because why am I not allowed to send it back? What happens if
It's very scary as
broken?
a consumer.
Yes.
No, I wouldn't purchase either. It's just not
Yeah.
It scares me a lot.
100%. Like, you're gonna spend so much money, or even a little bit of money. It doesn't actually matter what the value is.
Money is money.
I am gonna give you the money I worked hard for a product that you don't even guarantee I'll be happy with. No.
Yeah.
No.
Exactly, you're
Yeah.
right.
Last question is, what are your top Shopify app suggestions?
Okay.
I love this
Dun-dun-dun. I
one.
feel like this should be like a drum roll.
Yeah.
I'm thinking now. I hope it's not going to
Should we
disappoint
give
you
you a drum roll?
guys. So I like to use, I think it's called Price. I just search like, this is what I need, this is the app I need. So I think the app is called Bulk Price Editor. So that's if you're having a
Price
big
Editor.
sale and you don't want to go through every price and change every price and calculate what's 30% of this.
Yes.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. So it changes all your prices for you. I think it's about $5 if you're going to change over 1,000 variants. And then OmniSend is a great app. That is an app on Shopify. And then there's one that I really want to download. It's called Bundles. So it creates bundles for you, and then once those bundles are purchased, it removes the quantities from all of the products, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
So it doesn't just remove the quantity of the bundle. It removes, so if I bought these 2 waters, it'll remove each variant from the... if that
helps a
makes
lot.
any
It's
sense.
like more product
Yes,
management.
yes, yes.
Oh, that's
So you
very
don't need to
cool.
update anything. It's called bundles.
That's very cool.
Yeah, that's very
And then
streamlined.
there is another one. I cannot remember the name, but it's a chat, like a live chat, that I put on for like major sales or Black Friday, and then they can just chat.
Like a bot on your website.
And no, it's me.
Okay.
But they can like chat and ask like, "Hi, I'm looking at this product. Can you help me with it?" And then you just like talk them through it.
Okay,
So it's
okay.
more
It's
live
like
customer
live
support.
support.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that is,
customer support.
yeah, and that's a very cool thing to have, especially in those busy seasons.
Exactly.
Black
Well,
Friday.
good on you for sitting and answering all of those. I don't know if I would have the
I sit
patience.
there and I'm like,
Great. Great.
it's really
Yeah.
nice. It's fun. I love it.
So cool.
Amazing. Well, Tarynne, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your story and letting us ask you 3,000 questions.
It was
No, it's
literally
fine.
about 3,000 questions.
That's awesome.
But
I
it was
love it.
it was really amazing, and we're walking away here filled with your passion, because now
So
I
glad.
feel like I need to do better in life, and I need to go after my dreams, and I need to put in the effort that you are putting into your business, because it's just amazing. And the stuff that you've shared with us today, I'm sure a lot of people will agree, is that people are going to take it home and are able to go forward with a little bit more direction, and your authenticity,
Authenticity.
was really amazing. And so thank you for sharing that with us, and thank you so
I'm
much
so
Danica, for being here as
inspired.
well.
Thank you so
Oh, it's
much.
just
You guys have inspired me
so-
as well.
oh.
Thank you for
It
having
was
me.
really cool to do an in-person event. I know there are not a
Yeah.
lot of, like, there's not a lot of people.
Yeah.
on
I'm
the
glad
Zoom
there's no
watching us.
people. I'm
But
glad.
it's good to just
Yeah.
have the 3 of us together. I know the vibe is completely different than our other events.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, this was
So
our first in-person Cracking the Code session, but it will definitely not be our last. But thank you for being
Thank
our
you.
very special guest to break
Thank
that
you.
for us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Great. Thank you guys for joining us tonight.